I still love that intro so much. Props to Jim for making the best intro.
Good boy, Jim.
It's simple and it's Ahsoka, and I love it. And I actually, when Jim reached out to me, says I would like whenever you want to start doing your YouTube account, like I would love to do your opening. And I said, no, you don't have to do that. Like you don't like I'll pay. Like don't worry, if you want me to do I'll pay money. He goes no. And like I'll do it. I'm like,
yeah, don't worry about it.
Like, don't worry about
it. He did my video too.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
I have to check that out. I know he's done so many people's, and I did want to reach out to like Gin and Tonic and have them like redo my logo because I kind of like I'm now curious to have a logo as well. Instead of it just being the picture of me holding my lightsaber that I took during quarantine. And like I just want to like have it updated and shit. But yay, so we're here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Snip's Comlink. Yeah. And I am just people have no idea how excited I am to have you on. Like I am so ecstatic to be here. I was just telling this to Victoria, but I love having females on. Like I just like talking to girls. I like talking because I am bisexual, so that's no surprise.
Yeah.
But I just like there's so many times I'm just not stuck, but guys, I love you all. Boys, you know who you are. My boys, I love you. But something about talking to a female, also about like Star Wars and nerdy things, it just feels so comforting.
So natural.
It's so natural.
So natural.
And it makes me feel good, and it just makes me feel happy. So I'm really, really happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be invited.
So if this is your first time watching my podcast or your first time watching me, hi, I'm Natalia, or you can call me Nat, or you can call me Natty. I've been getting called Natty Light. And this is my podcast where we will talk about Star Wars, anime, cosplay, and you could be an expert. Or you can know nothing at all, like me sometimes. But we're here to just chat and just learn and just like have a good time. Like nothing here is like taken too seriously. Like this is just a place that's open and welcome to all. And that's about me. And I'm about to introduce the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. You take my breath away.
Stop it. Stop it. I will fly you over here right now.
Literally, I work remote now. So that can happen very easily if the tickets to London weren't so expensive. I was actually thinking about coming. I'm like, oh, maybe I should just, what happens if I just take a weekend trip to London for my birthday? The tickets were over $1,000. I'm like, across the pond? Really? I was like, okay, yeah, this is not happening. Not right now, but I know we'll meet in person next year, which I'm really excited about. But ladies and gents and everyone in between, this is Izzy, who is famously known as Izzy Louise XO, or you might know her from her install page, Kashi Customs. And she does installs for lightsabers, and she does cosplay, which are beautiful, gorgeous, amazing. I'm just
too kind.
But yeah, so Izzy, welcome to my channel. Happy for you to be here.
Very excited.
Is there anything that I've missed? Like, what else do you do? Like, do you have a YouTube channel, right?
I do not. Well, no, I don't.
Oh my god! So you just have your install page. You have your.
I have a YouTube. Yeah, I've got a YouTube account, but I don't post videos or anything at the minute.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. I'm like, oh, you also have your TikTok.
Yeah, I've got TikTok.
Duh.
I've got TikTok.
Who doesn't have TikTok? Like at this point, it's so common. Like I finally got my boss on TikTok. Well, no, not on. Like she made her TikTok account like 7 years ago, or what it used to be Musically. Yeah. And she's like now back on it, but she still has no idea what to do. She goes, what do I trends? I don't know what this is. But yeah, literally Izzy and I have been following each other for, I would say,
a long time.
it feels like over a year now. It has to be over a year.
I'd say like since last March.
Yeah,
April.
right?
Yeah.
Because I started going on I started on somebody's streams like back in like April of last year. And then all I remember is seeing like your name pop up when we would do live streams, and then I would see your account finally. I'm like, oh, let me follow her. And then we literally been following each other for such a long time. And then when I remember like just recently when you got locked out of your Instagram account and you're like, yeah, I only can. Girl, that's just crazy to me. And it's actually made me so paranoid now with my own Instagram. Well, my personal one, not my Star Wars one. But like I got the since I'm a Her Universe brand ambassador, you have to like log into your personal account on their website to get basically to get the brand stuff. And I tried logging back into my personal Instagram and it didn't let me in. And I'm now too nervous to log out of it ever. I'm like, oh,
just in case.
Yeah. Just in case. I'm like, I might be screwed on this one.
Yeah, it's actually really funny because I'd literally just been saying to a friend maybe 2 days before I got locked out, I think I need to take a mental health break. I'm going to delete Instagram. And then when the power got taken from me, I need you back.
Number one, mental health breaks are always needed and always fine. Like sometimes social media can get so overwhelming. It's
for sure.
It's crazy because like to me, like my Instagram is like my safe space, like to escape from a lot of things. But sometimes it's like sometimes I just not need to talk to people. But then it's hard because all my friends are all on Instagram.
I know.
It's just like, how am I going to talk to the people? I don't have any of them on Snapchat, or I just actually started friending some of the like Sam and Jim on Facebook, and Louise just added me on Facebook, which I love. But yeah, it's just I will do mental health breaks on social media when it's like crazy time for me at work. Like I'll be like, okay, this is like a nice time to step away, yada yada yada. But I won't usually stay away for too long because I always feel like the need to click something.
Yeah, or like you'll get a notification. I need to see.
Like I need to see what they said, or what is it? It's a like of a story. Oh, I gotta see it.
Which
is not even important. It's like a drug at this point, which is crazy. But we are here. Actually, like why? Before I even get started as to like why we're here, I wanted to ask you, how did you get into installs? Because you are the only female installer that I know, and it's such a rare and niche community. Like the installer community is very small.
Yeah.
And remember how you just said you saw a fly earlier? Well, that fly just came right into my face. Oh my god! Did I kill it? I don't think I did. But continue what you were about to say.
I even got a clap. Yeah, so it was weird. I always loved Star Wars, but I fell back in love with it when The Force Awakens came out, and I was it was very good. And I was just looking at these glow sticks, and I remember just thinking, there has to be more to it, because I had like the Hasbro ones, I had a Force Effects one. I just remember being really interested. I actually remember looking on YouTube, and I typed in real lightsaber, and someone had the top thing was something silly, like it could cut through steel. And from that moment, I remember thinking like, I really want to make one. And then I looked on like YouTube, Facebook. There was actually people that was making them, and you could buy them, like real companies. And I was shooketh. And then I started looking on like the Saber forum. Jeremy from Solar Sabers, he's on Facebook and stuff. And
is that his name, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Okay, because I follow him too. I just never knew his name either. Yeah, oh my god, I'm trying to like adjust myself on this chair, and I'm like about to break it. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my god, hold on. There's a fly literally on my mic. So if I flick it, you're about to hear something. Oh, wait, now it flew away. Oh, come on. This is stupid. I don't know how I'm going to kill this thing. Oh, it died. Yes, I got it.
There was like read.
You saw it here.
a minute ago.
You saw it here first, y'all. I killed a fly. I'm not like Mr. Miyagi, but like I can at least get it after a while. But yeah, because like for example, like I obviously got into lightsabers because of like Sam and Jim and Simon, and all the guys, like just them talking about lightsabers. And I was like, in my head, I was like, the only lightsabers that I've seen at the time were the FX lightsabers that they sold at Disney. And because they sold those, like those were like the prime, like before they started selling the custom ones you can get from Galaxy's Edge, it was like the replica, like FX lightsabers you could buy. And it was like Luke, Anakin, Yoda, and Darth Vader. Like those are the only lightsabers they ever sold. So those are the only ones I ever knew about. Until like TikTok blew up during the pandemic. And then all of a sudden, like I was seeing all these versions of lightsabers. I'm like, are you telling me that my Galaxy's Edge lightsaber is not the brightest one out there?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And they're getting better.
I know.
Crazy.
I've seen Sam's video about CFX. Carter is now the Golden Harvest God because I gave him. You know what? I gave him that name too. Like he was talking about that the other day on Sam's live stream, and I was like, we were literally just talking about lightsabers, and he was talking about how he just like unlocked the code for Golden Harvest, and I'm like, oh, you're a god, like just change that in your name. And what did he do?
Yeah,
his thumbnail was like, I'm a god, I'm a Golden Harvest god.
He's never letting that one go.
No, absolutely not.
It's title.
I mean, it's an achievement in itself because like
it is.
I was sitting there just trying to understand this thing, and I'm like, I can't. Nope. At this point, like I will ship my saber to I will pay the money to ship it because that to me is complicated.
Yeah.
And the only sabers I now own are I have a baselit, a Profi, and a Xenopixel, and that's and of course like the Disney Galaxy Edge sabers, but that's all I can handle. Anything more than that, like if it's like, and it's crazy because I remember Sam mentioning to me like Profi is like, oh, it's gonna be like, you know, the harder one to like understand because of the board. I'm like, I don't know how this board works, but that's why I got you guys. And you guys can do it for me.
It's a very expensive hobby.
Like, have you ever seen a TikTok that says, all right, here you go on the collection now. I'm in severe credit card debt.
Yeah.
That's I think that's every lightsaber or anyone that collects something, that is your life. Because I remember seeing somebody that just had this entire Jim and his collection of Legos. It's not a cheap one. I think it's like, I'm trying to think. I think Zach has helmets. I think
he's got some figures, I think, as well.
Figures, oh my god, alone so expensive. To me, I'm just like any figures I buy is on drunk purchase. So like, for example, I have a figure of Levi Ackerman over there, and I mainly bought it because I can't believe I'm gonna say this on live. I went with an ex-boyfriend to Disney recently, and I went with the full intention I am not doing anything with this guy. Like, we're just gonna be friends. Like, and he was really annoying me. Yeah. Like, he was getting really, really annoying. And so I'm like, because he kept getting drunk and I was getting drunk. And I was like, you know what? To turn him off, I'm like, I just gotta be the nerdiest he's ever seen.
That's going to entice him.
It didn't. It was the opposite way, because he's like, oh, like, yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm like, Scott, you're not a Star Wars fan. You've never watched Star Wars a day in your life. You're lying. So we're in Epcot, and he just kept being like very flirtatious. And I said, Japan! And I ran into the Japan pavilion. I started freaking out over Levi Ackerman. I'm like, oh my God, I have Levi Ackerman. He goes, you're freaking out over a figurine? I'm like, yeah, he's my favorite character. Duh. Thankfully, closed the door on that one. I'm like, yes.
Well,
I scared him away.
I'd say that's you've dodged a bullet. Sorry, Scott.
Oh no, I'm
Whoever
so
you
happy.
are.
Oh,
Wherever
I'm
you
so
are.
oh my god. Scott, if you're watching, I am so happy I dodged you. Pass you on to the next problem. But yeah, like I don't own a lot of figurines. I will say, like, owning lightsabers is really expensive. Like it's like since I gotta go to Celebration next year, I really can't be spending that much more money. So the last purchase I made on a lightsaber will probably be my last up until like after Celebration's over, and even then I'm still probably gonna be in debt. So we'll see how this goes. But and you also cosplay, right?
Yeah, I do. I do some cosplay. Not as much as I'd like, but
Your wigs, I want them all.
I've got about 60 something wigs now. It's
wait, 60.
60 something. I wear wigs more than my actual own hair because I want to change it all the time, but I don't want to damage it. So I'm just like, there's a wig.
You need to tell me where to buy these wigs, because I only have one wig and it's hidden away. It's my silver blue one, and I don't.
I just get them from Amazon. Like
I gotta start doing that, because like I love the purple in my hair, but like sometimes I'm like, I wonder how red would look, or without having to dye it. Like this,
yeah,
it's expensive, and I have to go get it redone soon, because obviously you can see the the brown coming back. But oh wow, you can really see. Oh god, thank God my birthday's in 2 weeks, because that's when I'm getting my hair done. But yeah, so let's finally get into what we're talking about. Let me see. I got this cute little banner thing. Oh, yay. That's it?
That was very anti-climactic.
That was very
well, still sorry, but it's still very cute. It's still, I don't know what I
thought I was gonna do something. Can you maybe this? Hold on. Oh, this is what I was trying to have it do. I'm still trying to learn StreamYard.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. I can now understand why the guys like using it. But so yeah, we're here to talk about the dark side and the light side. Yeah. Which so obviously you cannot tell by Izzy's background and by mine.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, we're Star Wars fans. I mean, statement. I also just love that it's a stormtrooper. Like, it's like your protection. It's like your bodyguard.
I did. No. Do you know what? It was an accident, but don't even cut it, because it's just expected of me. I thought it was his blaster. Never mind. Never mind.
I love this. I love this. Oh my god. But now I'm really tempted to get a cutout of Kylo Ren. Yeah. I don't know if I want it of Kylo Ren or I just want it of Adam Driver. Ooh. I'm still debating, because
it'd be a big boy for sure.
Right. And I'm like, oh my god, where do I put him? He needs to have a place in this world. We'll figure this out. I will get it. So obviously, you know, if you're under a rock, there are two sides in Star Wars that people fight on. You either fight on the light side or you fight on the dark sides. Literally, dark and light. There's no in between. I love that you have Tupac. May he rest in peace. Oh my god. You would actually, like, wearing that around Atlanta, you would be like the most normal person here, because that's like literally what everyone wears. Just like we all wear like oversized like shirts of rappers.
See, nobody is like that here. Like, everybody wears like North Face, Nike, puffer coats, and they talk like, "What you seeing?" And I'm just like, listen, if you say you like Tupac, they're like, can you even name 5 songs though? And I'm just like,
I will say this, I cannot even name one song. And that's just because growing up, I didn't listen to Tupac. I knew who he was for the longest time. I just never had heard his music. But yeah, no, everyone just wears, it's Atlanta, like the heart of where most of the rappers came from. And the music scene here is just so crazy. And it's so popular here. But yeah, dark and light side. So I don't know if y'all can tell by my makeup look, but you can already see what side I prefer. Actually, lies. Because like there is a dark side and there is the light side, but there's also this something called the gray side, which is the middle, which is always what I've kind of referenced myself to be.
Just on the fence.
It's not even on the fence. It just makes more sense to me. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, you're not a Jedi. You don't fight for the Republic. You don't fight for the Resistance. You don't fight for the Rebellion. You don't fight for any of that shit. You kind of fight for yourself, but you're not also like a heartless bitch.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's like, but I also like it because it's where the purple kind of also fits in, like the purple lightsaber. It's like a mix of them both. So that's why I really like it. What do you prefer? Are you more of a dark side girl or a light side girl?
It's strange because, okay, dark side all the way. In the movies, dark side all the way. In real life, I consider myself a pretty moral person. But if Kylo Ren offers me his hand, there is no hesitation. I'm going. Like, I don't care who I have to slaughter. I don't care what I have to do. I'm doing it. So
we're on the same page on that. Okay,
yeah,
great.
so do with that information what you will.
Yeah. Like so for example, like for me, like I have morals, like yes, 100%. I'm a good person. I'm very, very nice. I'm very, very kind. I'm very, very sweet. I don't want to hurt a fly, unless you really, really piss me off. But literally, like if Kylo Ren were to walk in here right now, break down my door, say we need to murder all these people, and then you can be mine forever, I'll say, which saber do you want me to use?
Yeah. The toast.
That's it.
Gone.
But it's just him. Like, there's no one else on the dark side that can make me do that. Like, I will say this: when it comes to like Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, I know Darth Vader is much more powerful, but I'd take Anakin Skywalker any day.
Yeah,
light side for that. But yeah, I like the light side. Like, I understand the good guys. Like, they're fun. Like, they're the ones that need to save the universe and save the world.
Yay.
That's cute. But the dark side just who doesn't like black and red? Hello.
Like I love Luke Skywalker, but that haircut cannot convince me to go to shop with you. Never mind do anything else.
Which haircut? Because they're all pretty rough.
All of them. Sorry, Luke.
No, with the light side, like, so I remember thinking about this when I was growing up. I'm like, oh, I love the Jedi. Like, they're so, like, you know, they fight for the people. They're good. And a lot of them are powerful. Like, Yoda is very powerful. There you go. That's the word. That's English. And then you have, like, you know, I don't want to. I feel bad for like shitting like this, but then you have like a Jedi like, you know, Luminara and Dooley, who powerful woman, but she's not more powerful than Yoda, and it's kind of like she's like mid. Yeah, and I'm just like it's just I don't know. Like the light side is just, to me, I like them.
Yeah,
and they all have very cool individual characteristics, but something about the dark side just like
pulls you in.
Captivates,
yeah. It's like when you're watching the movies, you mostly are rooting for the good guys.
Oh, always rooting for
the
good guys.
They're always cooler. Whether it's games, movies, shows, anything. The villains are just, for me anyway.
The villains are so much better.
Yeah.
And like I remember when the sequels were coming out and everybody was shitting on them. They're like, oh my God, these movies are terrible. Like, it's just a remake of A New Hope. Like, when Force Awakens came out, they're like, it's an exact replica of A New Hope. Like, this Kylo Ren character is like horrible. Like, I'll obviously be honest. Like, when I first saw Force Awakens, I hated Kylo Ren with a passion. I walked out of that movie theater so pissed. I was so mad. Because it was like my first time seeing a Star Wars movie in theater since 2005. And the first thing you're going to do to me is kill fucking Han Solo. Bro, are you fucking serious?
It was very unexpected.
I was so unexpected. Like, I was I was sobbing. But also, like, I was watching the First Order. I'm like, they're so brutal. Like, these people are massacring people by the hundreds to find information. Like, don't get me wrong.
He's
Oh,
an
he was
absolute
menace. And like when he held that blaster in midair, I'm like, what? Like, who is this? And then obviously we see that it's Darth Vader's grandson. We're like, and then he took off his helmet. I'm like, oh.
It's I forgive you. I
forgive everything.
I can fix him.
Literally, me with any guy that apparently I date. I can fix him. No, you cannot. And I'm like, the only thing I can say to that, like seeing Kylo in the scene when he first comes out is like, whoever your hairstylist is, I love them. Yeah. He looks so regal when you first came out. Like, I'm like, at that point, like, how do you not like the dark side?
It was something else. It was something else. The unmasking. It did bits. It did bits. I say like it does bits. It did bits.
Mm-hmm. I will say this though, not in live action, but in the Clone Wars series, they did make some of the Jedi Masters look really, really fucking fine. Quinlan Voss was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was like, he's a hottie for an animated character, and so was Anakin. But it was like, yeah, I usually fall more to the dark side, but I like so to all the Star Wars fans out there, I don't think the gray side is. I feel like it's canon because you see characters that are not on either side exist in the Star Wars universe, but there's so many people out there like the gray side. You're a fake fan. Like those don't even exist. That's not even canon. I'm like,
who even are you?
Who even are you? Is like what they would say to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, can I just live my life and be in the middle and not have to choose a side? That'd be great.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like when a movie doesn't end the way you want it to. You just make up your own ending. Who's going to tell me that I can't do that?
Same. Kylo Ren never turned into Ben Solo. He is still a supreme leader in my eyes.
In a vast universe where there is gangster slug lord kings, why can I not be a grey Jedi? Why not? Who's going to tell me?
Exactly.
Who's going to tell me that?
Exactly. Like, I don't know. Like for training, obviously, like if you want to be trained to be a Jedi, like if you want to learn the ways of the Force, like obviously, like either you're going to be a Jedi or you're going to be a Sith. Like that's how you're going to learn. But like take that information and be like, peace out. Like that's what I would do. Like I would go through training to be a Jedi and be like, okay, this was great, but I can't live my life just for other people.
Yeah.
I gotta live my life for myself. But I don't also want to use my hate and anger to hurt people. Okay. So I'm just gonna be in the middle.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. But you know what? If they ever decide to do like a story on that alone, which is probably never gonna happen. I mean, I technically people would consider Ahsoka a gray Jedi.
I was thinking that.
Well, mainly because her sabers are white, and they've always kind of considered like if you're on the gray Jedi side, like your saber's either white or purple.
Yeah, I think it was the whole. She's obviously not Sith, right? But then she's like, she's like, I am no Jedi. So it's like,
yeah, she says she is not a Jedi at all. Like she says, I am no Jedi, and she fights for other. Like she'll fight for the rebellion, but she's standing up for herself and not wanting to deal with. I think if anything, she just doesn't want to be recognized as a Jedi, but as someone who does fight for good.
Yeah.
That's also why I love her. She's a badass.
She's an independent queen.
Independent queen. And I'm so excited for her to get her own show.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't expect it to happen. I will say that. I was just like, them making a live action Ahsoka show, like, how is that going to happen? And of course, then we saw Ahsoka in Mandalorian, and I'm like, oh, they can do this, and they will. I'm just really excited.
Yeah, we've been spoiled. There's so much Star Wars content that as a kid I never thought like we would ever get this.
Never.
We're getting more and more. It's like Marvel, we're getting more and more and more.
Marvel alone, like Marvel fans should be satisfied for the next 10 years with what they're getting. And they're like, oh, you know, Marvel's not coming out with a lot. I'm like, Marvel's coming out with more movies than Star Wars will ever make in a lifetime.
For sure.
It's crazy. I'm also excited for it though.
Very excited.
I'm really excited. Like I'm excited for She-Hulk to come out because I actually did read that comic.
Incredible, yeah.
I'm really excited.
So good.
But getting back to Star Wars, I'm really excited for Ahsoka. Like I was so, and I mean I've said it on the live streams before, but like I really come in with these shows with no expectations.
Yeah.
I had expectations for Bad Batch, and it's just, I look back to the streams I was on and I was like, wow, I really was so excited. And I thought every single episode was amazing.
Were you watching a different show?
You know what? Jim would be the one to be like, I didn't think it was great this week. And I'm like, oh no, I liked it because I had this, and this. And then I'm like, no, you dumbass. Jim was fucking right. You were only saying that because you were on a live stream with other people. But then I really like thought back to it. I'm like, this was a really rough show.
Yeah, it was torture. It was horrible.
Torture. And it was like, for example, like just dealing with the dark and light side on that show. Because obviously at that point, like the Jedi they all had to go into hiding. So you couldn't find a single Jedi around. Then you had the Empire starting from freaking scratch. It just, like, I like the concept of like transitioning from the Republic to Empire. But it's just like,
it was such a wasted era. There's so much more they could have done with it. It's
so much more, and so many more characters could have came back into the show.
Wasn't it released weekly as well?
It was released weekly.
Imagine waiting. If it was bingeable, it'd probably been slightly more enjoyable. But imagine waiting week and week and week for trash.
It was 16 weeks.
I'm never gonna get that time back.
Oh no, absolutely not. Like the first episode was great.
Yeah.
First episode was over an hour, I believe, and it was so good. I was just like, oh, is this supposed to be baby canon
the first episode was, and the episode with
Kanan. There you go.
Yeah, the first episode and the episode with Hera was incredible.
Right.
But the rest was like, Omega's like, Rick, Tika, stop, Rekka, just literally, I can't deal with it.
Omega, oh my god, and no one knew if it was Omega or Omega. Oh my god,
I just say whatever comes out.
It's just, I mean, I'm happy it's getting a second season, but I really hope they just, if anything, just release just release it all at once.
Just release it all in one go, for sure.
Yeah. Because that 16 weeks was brutal. And then I came in with no expectations for Book of Boba. And that helped a lot. I was like, okay. I mean, I'm a Boba Fett fan, but I'm not like a
mega
fan. So I was like, oh, like this will be cute. Maybe. And then this show started happening. And I'm like, oh, wow, like this is actually pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's my favorite show out there, but it was good. Like, I would say, like, for a TV show, it was a good TV show.
Yeah. I thought the ending was a little bit, the whole battle, I thought that was a little bit
I thought that was so
underwhelming.
Yeah, right? They're like, we're about to be fighting all these people, and then it's just like the whole battle's in one episode. And
one like in one village as well, like just behind the wall. And just like,
but I will say, seeing freaking I was about to say Hondo Naka. Nope, not saying Hondo.
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane, there you go.
Oh my god. I don't know. I'm probably gonna regret saying this. He's kind of attractive. Like I know. Just if
the live action one.
If you close your eyes and you just listen to the voice, I
can see that.
it's the Western. It does bits. It does.
Oh, his
bits.
Western accent and his
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that. But when you open your eyes, you're like,
what is this?
What am I looking at?
What am I looking at?
And on top of that, I'm still gonna die on this hill. His hat was so small.
Yeah.
Oh, like have you ever seen Cad Bane's hat in Clone Wars? That bitch is like huge. It's like I've got like a sombrero and then he has this little
it's just gonna get smaller and smaller every single time we see him.
Well, now he's dead.
Yeah. But you never know. You never know with Star Wars. Look at Palpatine. Who knows what they're gonna do?
Look at Darth Maul. How many times can they revive this man?
Well,
Darth Maul is amazing.
Darth Maul is my favorite Star Wars character. So
Is he really?
he is. I was glad he came back. He was. Yeah, he's amazing. I prefer him in the in Rebels and Clone Wars, though. 100%.
Oh, 100%. I think he got he definitely got redeemed.
Yeah,
he got redeemed.
Lines in the movie.
I didn't like him in Solo, and I have that on my hot take video with Simon.
Yeah, I thought that was probably like one of the most redeemable parts of Solo. I liked Solo, but it's not one of the strongest Star Wars movies, I'd say.
Oh no, Solo is at the bottom of my list.
Yeah.
Like I own all the Star Wars movies like back here, like on the DVD, and Solo is not one of them. I wasn't a fan of it. I don't know. It just like with that movie, it didn't flow right. Like the story was
weird.
It was very weird. It transitioned in a very weird way. It was actually pretty confusing, actually, to me.
Yeah. It's a slow burn, but like it doesn't ever burn. Like you watching it, you're thinking, okay, maybe it'll pick up, but then it kind of really doesn't. And it's weird because it's got such an amazing cast. Like the cast for it, like Woody Harrelson, Emilia Clarke, 10 out of 10. But the actual
Glover.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The actual movie.
You literally have Childish Gambino in your freaking movie.
Yeah.
It's just.
I would like to see Solo too. Though I do think they could, because I want to know more about the Crimson Dawn. I think they could.
Yeah, they just dropped in Crimson Dawn saying like, oh yeah, like Maul is in charge of that, and so is Emilia Clarke's character. I'm like, is that a gang? Yeah, you gotta explain that.
Where is it? Yeah, they love to plant like little seeds and stuff, but they never
watch it be like connected soon.
Yeah.
And, like
in 20 years time.
In 20 years time, I'd be like, oh, remember when we mentioned Crimson Dawn like 20 years ago? We're gonna make a movie on it. I'm like, finally. But yeah, when it comes to like the Star Wars, like so Kenobi was great because it really did prove to me how much I do like the dark side sometimes over the light side. Like I loved Kenobi. I love Obi-Wan. I think he's a great character. I think if you were gonna make a TV show about a light side character, it would be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, sure.
But sorry, seeing the Inquisitors, they're just cooler.
They're cooler.
Their lightsabers are cooler. Like I loved Reva. Like people gave a lot of shit about Reva, but I loved her. I loved her saber. I loved her feisty and spiciness.
The Inquisitors were very cool. I wish they
did more.
Yeah, I wish they spoke more.
Right? Because there was that one female Inquisitor that just had like a few lines here and there. Yeah. And I'm like, she looks pretty cool. And I don't think I've seen her before.
Yeah.
Unless that's the same Inquisitor from Rebels. I know the Grand Inquisitor is the one from Rebels.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and then people of course got on him for his look. Star Wars fans are so judgmental.
I think the thing is like when there's like a community so big, there's more people to be toxic, but it's gross. It's kind of sad as well because as you're watching it, you can kind of predict when people are going to be like that.
Right.
People are just assholes.
I was talking about this with Victoria on my last podcast, but it's like there's no reason for people to be hateful at all. like I get it, like when you are on the dark side and you're supporting the dark side, like if you think about what the Empire and the First Order are, they are militaristic dictatorships. Like they're regimes, they're there to power to conquer, and they're they only care about power, only caring about you swearing your allegiance to them. Like they could care less about your health or well-being. But yeah, when Riva started getting all the hate and of course all the makeup with the Grand Inquisitors, I'm like, you have like there's no reason to be hateful. You're just being hateful because you're mad that the Grand Inquisitor doesn't look like the guy from the same like facial structure as the one from Rebels.
Yeah, like I hate to break it, but have you seen Dooku? Like the man's got Giga Chad hair. Like it's.
Does anybody remember Dooku from like the original Clone Wars show they tried doing before they redid? It was so bad. All the Star Wars characters looked really rough. Have you ever seen the old version of that?
I might have done. I probably have.
Like
I've watched
on my phone right now.
Yeah, please show me. Like I've seen like even the Ewok movies. I make a point to watch everything Star Wars, even if it's very minor.
I remember seeing the Ewok movies when I was a kid.
They
were so cute.
Caravan of Courage was actually quite good. Like quite good.
It's cute. I don't remember. I actually would have to rewatch it because I don't remember it vividly. I remember snippets. Like it's like snippets in my mind that I see fragments of, like of the movie, but I don't remember the whole plot. I don't remember what they did. I don't remember who was the lead. I don't remember which Ewoks joined. Like it was so weird. Hold on.
The Ewoks were so scary back then. So
scary. Right. Hold on. Show 2003. That's what it was.
2003. That was 2.
I forgot. Oh, let me see like a rough version of them.
I might not have seen it then.
Oh, you will see this picture and you're like, excuse me, and they allow this to be released?
I'm scared.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, why does it have to be so blurry? Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to show you what Count Dooku, General Grievous, and Asajj Ventress and Anakin Skywalker are supposed to look like. They just like bricks.
That's real?
Yeah, no, this was a show. 2003 to 2005. This show existed.
Why is Dooku's head shaped like a boot?
And then you have that's Mace Windu, that's Obi-Wan, and that's Yoda.
I've definitely seen like those pictures, but I thought there was like fan art, like something from like Reddit or something. I thought,
oh no, this was Obi-Wan and Anakin. Like that was the old show they used to do.
No, baby, no.
Like
that is not it. That is not the one.
Oh, it's like so cringy.
That's so bad.
It's so bad. Oop. That's so bad. Hit my microphone. But no, this is a rough this is like a rough time for Disney. And oh my god, they just look so rough. But then of course, like Dave Filoni came and saved the day.
Yes. Thank God for Dave Filoni.
I know. The only downside is he had to leave Avatar: The Last Airbender, but he came to save the Clone Wars.
There was definitely one point where maybe even now, I don't know, it depends, controversial, that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau was carrying Star Wars.
They still are carrying Star Wars.
Yeah, that's my opinion. I was leaving it open for interpretation, but 100%.
No, I'm a firm believer that I don't think it'll ever happen, but there's going to be a day where Kathleen Kennedy is going to have to step down as the CEO of Lucasfilms. And hopefully that happens soon.
tomorrow.
That'd be great. The only reason why I feel that is just because like to me, she just, it looks like she doesn't care about it.
Yeah.
Like she's not a Star, like to me, like she doesn't seem like a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, if you really.
Yeah, when a new director or someone with like major input gets involved with a movie, you can always tell when they've been like prior fans to the franchise and have not just come in and taken the reins. I don't get fan vibes from her. Like, I don't feel like she sat down and watched the other movies at all, which is just kind of like my thoughts on that.
And it's kind of like, so when Dave came in for example, he was like taught by George Lucas to a point where like, if you want an encyclopedia, a human encyclopedia on Star Wars, it's George Lucas and Dave Filoni, like two of the biggest like nerds. That's because George created the franchise and Dave learned from George. I'm just like, that's who you need, someone to lead this, you know, the charge on Star Wars. And Kathleen's not giving it to me, but it's Kathleen. Not Kathleen. It's now Dave, John, and Deborah Chow, the director of Kenobi, because she did amazing episodes.
Yeah, she did.
Too.
She did. Yeah.
And so did Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
Who everyone keeps forgetting. Like, yes, she's an actress, and yes, you recognize her from Jurassic Park and other stuff. But like,
no, she's great. She's great.
Amazing.
She
like
is.
Her episodes in The Mandalorian were so popular.
I was really shocked actually to see everybody suddenly praising her. I was like, we knew that. Like, we knew.
I really didn't know she was a director though.
She's amazing.
Usually when you see actors, like you don't really see them as directors unless they're on a TV show and they are allowed to direct some episodes. But John came in with Bryce Dallas Howard. It was like, no, I really just want you, instead of like, you know, I really want you to direct an episode. And I think I love that. I think that's what I also love about The Mandalorian is like every other episode is directed by a different director.
Yeah.
And it just gives individuality.
Yes.
But I'm the only show I need them to start making. And I will say this, we have many light side shows. We have The Mandalorian, which to people's interpretation, yes, he is a good guy. So I consider him on the light side. But Boba Fett, even though technically at the beginning, like at the beginning of the Star Wars franchise, he's considered a bad guy because he's a bounty hunter and he was hired under Vader, I still think he's a good guy. Like watching Boba, I'm like, oh yeah, he's a good guy. He's on the light side to me.
He's just there to do his job. Like he just wants to get the bag. Like
he just wants money.
Has he done some questionable things? Sure, but it's just you can tell like he doesn't take any pride in killing anybody. He's not doing it for the thrill. He just wants to get the bag and go home. He just wants some nice scran. That's it.
He just wants Jabba's palace and to be recognized as the leader. And I'm like, as you should. I respect that. Yeah, 100%. And then with Kenobi's obviously a light side show. But freaking Bad Batch, a light side show. The last season of Clone Wars, obviously, Clone Wars is a light side show. Yeah. It's light versus dark, but you know who wins in the end. And then I just need them to come out with dark side shows. Like,
oh yeah,
if they were to ever, I spoke about this with Simon, but if they were to ever agree to bring Adam Driver back, or if Adam Driver to ever agree to come back to reprise his role as Kylo Ren and do a Kylo Ren TV show, I would about die.
I think it would do incredible. Like, he's my favorite character from the sequels. I think
he's my second favorite character, second to Ahsoka.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing.
I
can't see him coming back. I can't. Not in the next 10 years, but
I think Adam has kind of like not retired, but he's hung up his Kylo Ren helmet. Is like, I'm kind of done with Star Wars. Like, I want to do Italian characters. He's filming Ferrari right now in Italy. Don't get me wrong, I loved House of Gucci, but I'm like, oh my god, I love you, Adam, but now I have to listen to your Italian accent for a second
Yeah.
time. He really did try, and it was pretty good. But you could totally tell he was an actor.
It was something.
It was definitely
It was
something.
something.
But having a TV show, not only just Kylo Ren, but the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, we definitely, like, I don't think I could name. It was only about 6 months ago I found out the Knights of Ren actually have names.
Individual, yeah.
Yeah.
I started finding out the individual names of the Knights of Ren from one of the fan fictions I started reading. Money, Power, Glory on Wattpad by Worm Girl. Everyone should read it. It's really, really good. It's an augmented reality fanfic of where Kylo is a mafia boss.
Ooh. That's enemies to lovers tropes.
Yep.
Yes.
And the gag is so at the beginning of the story, this is totally off topic, and this is not even about dark side and light side. This is actually just dark side at this point. Literally, it's you start off dating General Hux.
Okay.
You're dating Hux, like he's your boyfriend, like he is a lead in the mafia. Like Snoke is obviously at the top, he's a head boss, and then it's Kylo, and then it's Hux. And you're dating Hux, and you've never met Kylo before, but then all of a sudden Kylo comes back to town, and he does everything he can to woo you, to annoy the hell out of Hux. But then Kylo actually catches feelings, and then you actually catch feelings. Oh my God, it's a great story.
I think I'd read that. I think I'd read it.
It's so good. And it's also very, very well written. It's like not one of those like cringy, like
Cheesy.
It's cheesy. No, it's really, really good. And the smut in the
it's well,
it's letting there's a reason why I don't put like my YouTube videos like are they for children, because they're not.
They're not.
Literally, so good. Like, so I know, like for example, the Knights of Ren, it's Vikrul, Ushar, Applik, Cardo, Trudgeon, and then there's like one more, I think. There's like one more that I might be missing. But imagine having a TV show just on the Knights of Ren. And
incredible.
Well,
definitely deserved more. 100%.
Oh my God. I would love it just because of the fact that like people have to remember that Kylo Ren, like being the like master of the Knights of Ren, he just didn't get that name. These guys didn't just start following around. He had to like kill the leader of the Knights of Ren. And if they can just make that into a story, like into a show.
Yeah. Like Kylo was a menace. Like you don't just wake up and become like.
Yeah, like he was like coerced into the dark side. But aside from that, like he had to go through training in the dark side. He had to, in order to be a Knight of Ren, which he became a part of, and then he wanted to be the leader of the Knights of Ren, or Snoke really wanted him to be the leader of the Knights of Ren. He's like, you got to kill the boss. And like, and Kylo's like, let's go. And then he became master of the Knights of Ren. So it's got, they can do that TV show. Oh, it'd be great. I know they're doing a dark side show called The Acolyte, which I've heard a lot about. I just don't know what it's gonna be about.
Yeah,
like that's about it. And then they have all these other TV shows that I keep forgetting are gonna. The what?
The Fly's back.
Listen, I truly think we might be pawns across each other, but experiencing the same exact shit, because there's
like
these flies. It's insane.
Portal. There's like a portal through the webcams, bringing
probably
shared dimensions. Shit.
Literally, it's just because it's the summer here. Like once it's winter, these flies will not exist. But it's just because it's the summer. But yeah, so with like the dark side, like I just prefer. I will say this: I do not stand for the end goal of what the dark side does. Like I'm not all about massacring people. I'm not all about, using your hatred only, like that, like I'm like, I just can't. I don't have that much hatred in me.
Not like unwarranted hate.
Right. Like it's just, to me, I'm on like, which is why like I'll never fully be on the dark. That's why, like I said, like I'm on the middle, I'm on the gray side. Like I'm in the split middle of both, because I can't be one or the other.
Yeah.
I just wish more people accepted the gray side. So many people, like, I kid you not, like, it's a literal debate. People do not like people who believe in the gray side. They think there's like, that's not even Star Wars. That doesn't exist. Like, you are just making that up. And I'm like, can't you just let me live?
Just accept me.
Just accept me for what I am. Like, the only person on the light side who has a purple lightsaber is Mace Windu. And he's not truly fully a Jedi. Which is like, that's the truth. Like, I think Mace was the only Jedi master. I think. I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know everything. This is just shit that I remember listening to or reading like once ever so long ago.
He's got to come back. Like, it'd be such a waste of Samuel L. Jackson if they don't bring him back. Like,
he's open to it. He's so open to it.
I am convinced he fell on like a pod below him. Maybe he's got like one eye's glazed over, like some real like Nick Fury shit. Like, he's out there. Like,
he's probably Nick Fury in the Star Wars universe, just somewhere out there.
Yeah.
I don't, like, he's so open to coming back too. It's like, what are you guys waiting for?
Instead of bringing back, like, no offense, people like Palpatine, like,
don't get me wrong, I love Ian McDiarmid. He was such a sweetheart to me at Star Wars Celebration, but I mean, I will say it did make sense for him to come back, to him be the evil villain, but a lot of it, like, when I first saw it, they're like, oh, Palpatine's return, I'm like, this guy fell heaps and heaps of floors down to the middle of the core of the Death Star. How did you survive? Like, who pulled you? Like, there's no how.
Like,
who, what, where, when?
I imagine it was really weird as well for like original trilogy mega fans to see him come back. Like, they're probably thinking,
that's probably it. Probably gave him more reason to hate the sequels.
Yeah.
Like, oh great, I hate this shit even more.
I think Palpatine's return would have been a little bit better if like Rey's backstory had been padded a little bit more, because he was kind of like giving the whole, you know, granddaughter reunion thing going on, and I was just like,
he goes like, she is my granddaughter. Like, and in my head, I'm like, who the hell did you procreate with? Like, who did you?
Who? I am sorry, Sheev. I'm sure you dress up real nice when it's time to come, but who? Like, I've literally said this. Who? There is not enough vodka in the world.
Not enough vodka, not enough gin, not enough space, but just not enough to understand how this person procreated. And then, don't get me wrong, it's obviously like, we all know how he did it, because he did it the same way he created Anakin. Like, he, with no consent, he he magically like popped it into Shmi Skywalker, and it was just like, you're gonna be our Jesus story.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mary
Shmi.
And it was just like, same thing. I'm just like, this poor woman is walking around the galaxy one day, and then she's like, I haven't had sex with anybody, and lo and behold, I'm pregnant. Yeah. And then comes out, I'm assuming it's the fault, like it was Rey's dad.
Yeah, like,
who was the kid.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, that's some real like Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer shit. That was also mind blowing to me. Is like, I want to know more about, how did the dad find out he was Palpatine's son? Like, did he show up one day and was like, hey, by the way, you're my son, and I'm gonna need your daughter, because she's got like, I need to live on, like, my legacy needs to live on, and it's gonna live on through my like,
it would definitely be cool to get like a prequel thing.
Right.
that kind of thing. Because the thing,
freaking Palpatine just alone.
because the thing with like Star Wars and Marvel is like they can just keep going back, they can go forward, they can do anything. Wherever they can do anything.
Especially with, I mean, like with Marvel, we know the cool part about Marvel is the multiverse. Yeah. They have multiple dimensions of different versions of the same character. So it's so crazy how far Marvel can like squeeze like stories out because they can go everywhere. And with Star Wars, like you're right, like they can go so far back. Like they can go so far back with the High Republic, with the Old Republic. Like, I mean, dude, they're coming out with freaking books on the High Republic. They can go on forever. And then top of that, they can keep going past. It can go past Rey and Finn's time. They can go past all of that and keep going forward into the future. Like,
but we'll still never find out Yoda's species.
No. Like, you know what? Maybe I would be very, very happy if they could finally confirm that in Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah.
Like obviously we all know Grogu and Yoda are the same species, but if they can get like more backstory on like Grogu's species in season 3,
it'd be so
that'd
cool.
Be so cool.
Like we've got Yaddle.
For one movie, because you didn't see her ever again. Not even in Clone Wars did you ever see Yaddle. Like, I was just like, that's a bad bitch right there. And the only reason why I'm saying this is a bad bitch because she came in, she sat there, she didn't do jack shit, and yet people still remember her name to this day.
This is
power
true.
moves. She didn't do jack shit.
This is true.
Other than sit there during the council meeting and stand at the end when Queen Amidala was getting this big globe, this big orb of peace, and that's all she did. Badass. But still no one saw her again after that. It was just like, because I see my version of Phantom Menace has Puppet Yoda, which has Puppet Yaddle.
Okay.
So like I'd have like the older version of Phantom Menace, whereas like everyone has like the new version, which is like the CGI version of Yoda and Yaddle. I'm like, yeah, that's boring. Like I Frank Oz, bitch.
When I were a kid, we had like the videos that like you put in like the box TVs.
You mean VHS?
Yes, VHS. Shit.
That's fine.
That's what I meant. Like everyone griefs me when I call Blu-rays just DVDs. They're still just DVDs. Just
I don't even. You know what?
Allow it.
You know what? Aside from everything being like, we now have streaming services. I only have a DVD player. I never upgraded to a Blu-ray player because I'm like, most of the movies I have on DVD, I still want to keep on DVD, and I don't want to get the Blu-ray version.
Yeah. Everything's digital by now, to be fair. Like, I just put them in Xbox.
Oh, that's so smart. I don't have a gaming station at all, so I can't do that. I just have my rinky-dink DVD player that I've had since high school, maybe.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
No, it's still working.
Yeah.
I'll have my days where I'll do, instead of doing a Star Wars like marathon on Disney Plus, I'll like go in and put out the DVD.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's also why I still can't find the Phantom Menace inside its box. I think it's inside a DVD player, which it's somewhere in my apartment. I don't know where.
I'm like that with Harry Potter. Like sometimes it just feels better for a binge just to.
You know what? I don't own any of the Harry Potter movies like in physical. I don't own physical copies of them. But now it looks like I'm gonna have to get them because I'm so mad. They're taking them off of HBO Max. I'm like,
this show, right? The show Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I'm not complaining because they're two of my favorite franchises, but this show, those movies on ITV like every day, like every day, yeah, on ITV2. Swear down, there's like Fellowship of the Ring, Goblet of Fire, every week, guaranteed. They're showing.
You see, that used to be with in the U.S. there used to be there is a channel called FX, and it would have Star Wars marathon weekends, and I would just stay home and watch them and just love them all. But I'm really salty that HBO Max is taking away freaking Harry Potter. I'm like, you guys are Warner Brothers. You guys have Warner Brothers. Why are you getting rid of this?
Yeah. Are you really surprised though with Warner Brothers?
Listen, the relationship between Warner Brothers. You know what's really funny? I was telling this to Danielle because Danielle is on Peacemaker, who playing Leota Adebayo, who is the daughter of Amanda Waller. Yeah. And I was telling her, I'm like, girl, you're in the DC universe now. Like, you are a character in DC. And she goes, yeah, I actually just got nominated for my character. I guess it's called the Saturn Awards, which I've never heard before, which I felt bad because she was like, yeah, I guess it's been here for 50 years. She got her and Moses Ingram got nominated in the same category. So I guess it's like a nerd show, an award show. And I'm like, okay, well, I should really pay attention to this shit. But I was telling her, I'm like, yeah, I think the only thing that's going to probably save the DC universe right now is Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. Like,
I was so sad about the Batgirl movie. Like,
I was devastated. I was just like, I can't believe that. They just, it was all ready to go, and they just scrapped it. And I'm like,
a $90 million movie. It's like, if they released it even just on HBO Max, they could have just at least made the money back. It's such a even if all the actors and the people who worked on it get paid, can you imagine being involved in a movie for, I don't know how long it took, a couple of years, to just have it scrapped completely? Like, that was going to be
usually
Leslie Grace. That was going to be her big break, wasn't it? And it was going to be I forgot his name. Help me.
What character does he play?
My brain's gone. It's gone. He's completely gone. It's not Nathan Fillion. It's completely gone.
Do you know, is he supposed to be in the movie?
Yes.
Oh God, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's completely gone.
But no, movies take so the development to filming will probably take a couple of years because they have to get all the rights, they have to get at the story, the script, and all that kind of stuff, and go through rewrites and finding the characters, finding the cast, finding the people to direct it, and all that, and all the camera people. So that takes you 2 to 3 years. But to actually film a movie can take you maybe from 2 months. But with a big movie like this, with a big budget, it could take you up to maybe 10 months, maybe 8 to 10 months.
It's such a disservice. It's such a disservice.
And it's just you have all those people working on it, and it's just their work. In the words of Simon, in the bin, mate.
Get in the bin, bruv.
In the bin, bruv. It's tossed in the shadow realms of the bin. I've been watching my podcast with Simon. I'm like, I just one day I will talk to him straight in his accent. I will one day. I also didn't realize that Daniel Kaluuya and him have the same accent. Have you ever heard? You know who Daniel Kaluuya is, right?
Yeah,
the guy from
the same accent.
The same accent. The character, the actor from Black Panther.
Does he have the same accent?
Deadass. I was watching Hot Ones, and he has the same exact accent as Simon. I'm like, I love it.
You seen like that? What you seen, bruv?
Yes.
Chav Roadman.
Oh my God. Voice. I only know Chav from TikTok. Chav chick.
Chav talk. Yeah.
Yep. That's what I remember. But oh my God, we've gone over an hour. This is awesome. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. But have we talked much about the dark side, light side? As we could tell, I think we just love dark side men.
Yeah.
You know what? No, and dark side women. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. So when I saw Gwendolyn Christie,
by panic, it's a shame. It is a bit of a shame about the character, but still by panic. Like even Laura Dern, like again, it's a shame about the character, but major by panic.
You know what's crazy to me? When I was watching The Last Jedi and I saw Laura on screen, I'm like, because it didn't hit. I think it was maybe because of it was her purple hair color. I was staring at her and I'm like,
Who are
she looks very familiar. But then I like it was I started looking her up like when I was watching the movie like Laura Dern. I'm like Jurassic Park, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. No. I was like, I thought Laura's character in Jurassic Park was like gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's like she's so hot with these old men. Come on,
girl.
But no, Laura was hot. Of course, Billy Lord's character, cute as a freaking button. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just no, but Gwendolyn was just loved her as Phasma, and I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Asajj Ventress on Clone Wars,
I'm not even ashamed to admit it.
Oh no, she's fucking sexy.
Yeah.
Like there's something. I mean, there's something with the women on Dathomir that does something to me.
Yeah, there's something in the Dathomir air for sure.
Literally, and no, and it's crazy because since I worked at Disney, we had something called Star Wars Weekends, which is basically like there were like 5 weekends in May and June that like MGM Hollywood Studios would transform into like a Star Wars palooza. It was like Star Wars characters were everywhere. You had the original movies and the prequels, and then you had Clone Wars, and then you started having Rebels, and it was just the coolest thing ever. Like the voice actors or actors would come. It was basically like this, like a convention, but you were meeting these people for free. Like you can be in line for Warwick Davis and meet him for free. Didn't even have to buy anything. If you just wanted to meet him, just go to his meet and greet at its time. And you just met him. I will say I regret not meeting Warwick Davis. But I did see him in person, and that was really, really cool. I did freak out for that. Because I was just like, oh, Mr. Flitwick?
That is so sick.
The goblin from Harry Potter stuff. Oh, I was so happy. But then like you got to meet like Ashley Eckstein, which is how I met her, and James Arnold Taylor, who plays Obi-Wan. It was just a cool time to be a Star Wars. It was such a cool time at Disney to be a Star Wars fan. And then they gutted it. Like in the words of Simon, they put that bitch in the bin. I was so upset, but it was like it was such a cool time, and now they will never do that again because at Disney they only recognize the sequels now. They don't even acknowledge the original trilogy. They don't even acknowledge, like if you talk about like Luke Skywalker, they're like, oh yeah, like we've heard about him like years ago. If we talk about like Count Dooku, they're like, oh yeah, we read about him in a book.
Got some respect on my man's name. Like it's actually quite shocking. It's quite shocking.
It's so disappointing.
It really is.
Because I'm just like, oh, what about like I was talking, obviously, like these cast members are really in their storylines. I was like, oh my god, I wonder if you guys ever heard about Queen Amidala. They're like, we've heard that name brought up so many times before, but I only know the history of this planet, but too. I've never really explored off worlds. I'm like, shame. I mean, I didn't say that to their face. But I'm just like, I was like,
shame on you.
I'm like,
quit your job.
No, they would never quit that. I mean, I will not go back to the Disney company. It ain't gonna happen. Like, no. But it was definitely a good time at Disney to be a Star Wars fan, and now I'm just excited for all the new TV shows coming out. And at some point, these movies.
Yeah, at some point. Eventually.
At some point. Eventually. I think Taika at this point is like, they told me I'm making Star Wars movies. I don't know if I'm going to be making Star Wars movies.
They might just surprise us one day and just release a movie trailer. You never know. Could happen.
It good. But I want to be on that film set. So I also realize if I ever do end up on a Star Wars film set, I probably like no one will know. I'll be under. I'll probably be kept under such hard lock and key. They're like, you can't say a damn word, or we'll come for you and kill you. And they said, if you do that, can it please be Kylo Ren? Like, if I'm gonna go out, can you at least let me go out with my favorite character once? Please.
You're just a simple girl trying to make her way through the Adam Driver verse. That's it.
I will say this: there are some Adam Driver characters I just can't I can't find the appeal to. Like, I don't understand the appeal to, like, I can see, like, with the Marriage Story character Charlie, I'm like, okay, that's cute. The movie from This Is Where I Left, or This Is Where I Leave You, when he plays like the asshole brother, like, that's kind of hot. Him in Girls, kind of hot. Him in Black Klansman, still kind of hot. Although he was trying to be like a KKK member, so I'm like, I'll try to forgive you for that one. I didn't like him in The Last Duel. I'm like, rapist, no.
Bit too far. It's like when Sebastian Stan was in every other one of his roles. I'm like, when he plays the cannibal in Fresh, I tried so hard not to sim, but I tried because he's a cannibal, right?
He's a what?
He's a cannibal in the movie.
He plays a cannibal, like eating people's flesh in the movie.
Yeah, right. But it was impossible. It was impossible. Like, he's dancing, the outfits. I was like, I'll be a sacrifice. Fine.
It reminds me. I don't remember if this is a TikTok video or if this is like a YouTube video, but there's like a thing that says like, he's a murderer. Oh no, it's Leslie. It's oh crap, I forgot his name. But it's just like this actor who says, oh, what's he doing here? Oh, he's a murderer.
I think I've heard that on TikTok.
Literally, like, I will simp for Kylo Ren as a murderer because he's just so hot. And oh my god, I just love that part of the dark side. But I also, like, I do have I don't know if you've ever seen them, but have you ever seen those books that came, these Star Wars books that came with these really cool cases? Like, if you, like, Jedi Path comes out in this awesome, like, Jedi case.
Yeah, I've got them all.
No, you fucking don't.
I do.
I just have the books. I don't even have the cases for them.
I've only got the cases for the Jedi Path one. Are you talking about the ones where you like the
press it and it lets?
No, I've only got one. I wish I was that cool.
Oh my god, I would love to have them all, but like, I remember reading the Book of Sith, and I was like, oh, they need to like
that's a cool
get into this shit because this is so cool. Like, I remember reading and there's a chapter that starts talking about the rule of 2, but everything before that, I'm like, yeah, can we have like these Sith Lords come out because these look awesome
for sure.
Oh my god, Star Wars has so much they can do.
Yeah, and I definitely want to see more dark side things. 100%. Like, yeah, I think we need it. It's because
how long can you pull the strings of the light side? Like, don't get me wrong, there's many stories to tell. Like, I am kind of gutted that they're considering scrapping the Rangers, or like the Rangers, like the one that Gina Carano was supposed to star in, because of the whole Gina Carano issue. But I need some more dark side. And I think I think Disney was like, oh yeah, well, Boba is a dark side character. I'm like, not really, no, because he redeems himself so much in this show. So it's like,
he's just like a man on a journey who's done some things.
Who's done some things, and
you feel for him.
Oh, 100%. I felt so bad, and when he was, with all these all these sand people, I was just like, oh, like we're seeing a completely different side of him. And that's why I was like, oh, this guy's redeemable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like this is why I felt it was more of a light side story. But
Yeah.
no, we need some more dark side.
Even Maul though, like Maul is my favorite character. He went through so much. Like
He did.
his death makes me cry more than any other characters. Like I feel like even Obi-Wan felt some kind of sadness. Like
You saw it. You saw it.
To spend so long hunting someone down just to die. I was like,
and it's the way he died too. I don't know if you ever saw the YouTube or the video where they explain, or Sam Whitwire, Whitwer, yeah, there you go. He explains Maul's death, and he goes, "It's the exact parallel to Obi-Wan in the Phantom Menace, how they fought." And I'm just like, oh my god,
yeah,
it's so sad.
Star Wars with the parallels.
Well, it's crazy. I was having this chat with Simon on my podcast. I don't know if you heard it, but like Phantom Menace is one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
Okay.
And Jim is very against the fact that I love Phantom Menace. Love you, Jim, but Phantom Menace is staying in my heart and it's my number one film. But my biggest takes were, the reason is because of Darth Maul. I thought he was the coolest character.
Yeah.
Like it was my first Star Wars movie that I ever saw in theaters, and I'm like, this guy with horns that's black and red come out with a double-edged lightsaber, badass.
For sure.
Oh, and his jewel of, oh my god, it's like in Jewel of Face will always be connected to him.
Yeah, you can't hear it without thinking of Ray Park, and he's
such a sweet guy. He's so sweet. I met him during Star Wars. Yeah, I met him in Star Wars.
He's had some
like, but he has had some very like interesting like things come out about him. But when I met him at Star Wars weekends, he was like a kid. Like he was so excited. Like, and that's like,
he loves Star Wars. You can tell.
He loves Star Wars. He loves Star Wars, and he loves talking about it too. I remember, so James Arnold Taylor had a panel, and then it was Ray Park who had one right after, and I stayed for both. James was like discussing like voice acting and what it is like to voice act so many different characters. He did like this whole like, I can change into 40 different characters within like 70 seconds. And that was like the most coolest thing ever. And then Ray was doing like a demonstration, like how he like got into it all with, you know, dueling and how he still keeps it up. And I'm like, that was so cool.
Yeah.
And then of course meeting him in person was awesome. And I had a few friends that used to do Darth Maul for Star Wars weekends, and still the coolest character to me.
Yeah, he's so cool. He's so cool. He deserved so much better. Like, he had so much happen to him, and like, it's so sad. I am glad they brought him back, but I don't think they should bring everybody back though, because it kind of ruins the whole like. Now when someone dies in Star Wars, I'm like, are you really dead though? Are you really? I take it with a pinch of salt, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like doing that.
Yeah, like that's how I feel with that's literally how I feel with with Star Wars. It's really only with Star Wars. Like with Marvel, I've kind of resulted to the fact that if they're dead, they are dead, but they could be alive in a different multiverse, but it's not the same person.
Yeah.
So that's like my like, okay, well, if they are alive, they are not the same version of, you know, the ones that we saw just die. Like I guarantee you there's a Tony Stark in every single multiverse.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But with Star Wars, it's kind of like, oh, they could be like, if I'm not gonna lie, like I'm like create a brand new dark side character. Like, don't care how you create, just do not say that he is a like another version of Palpatine. Get rid of Snoke. Like,
it's a shame about Snoke. Like, Andy Serkis is incredible. Like, it's like that man is
talented.
To say you rarely ever see his actual face as well, he's incredible.
So good. I actually loved seeing him in Black Panther because I was just like,
Yeah.
I've always seen you in CGI'd characters, so it's nice, or motion capture characters. I'm like, now I can see your face. Just you don't have a real arm, but no, he's so talented. And I did like the whole concept with Snoke. I was like, okay, yeah. There's this one radical guy that was still for the Empire, and then he started the First Order and just made it into this whole thing. Like, that's cool. But then the whole thing of being like, oh no, it was Palpatine this entire time.
Yeah,
Like,
as if like the throne room scene was a little bit and then, but I was still
scene.
the best.
The best. I'm sorry. Like, I remember debating this in one of my classes for last year. It was one of my film courses, and they said, name a scene that is cinematically so well done. And so I said the Red Room scene from The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, the camera coming in, everything's red. Like, it's so intimidating. And then all of a sudden, Kylo Ren does the...
Yeah.
And...
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
The cinematography of the sequels is incredible. But that scene is clapped. I'm sorry. It's so clapped.
Wait, you hated it?
It's so bad.
You didn't think their fighting was awesome?
No, does anyone?
Yes, I do.
The wedding is off.
Oh, fuck me. Shit. No, that can't happen. I need to marry next year.
No, I appreciate the cinematography of it. I just don't think the actual fight is good, or that even happened. But that might be. I only came to that conclusion fully after watching Rise of Skywalker. So that probably is why too. You can't really come out of a movie anymore and be like, yeah, that was an 8 out of 10 until you finish watching it, because it affects the whole sequence of events the next movie.
I can see that. Well, especially since they're completely different directors too, and it's like JJ had a more difficult job.
Yeah.
With Rise of Skywalker than Ryan having.
I love J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, it was so hard. Like, imagine how much he had to fit. I don't want to say fix, because I don't think Ryan broke everything.
No,
I think Ryan. I feel bad because he is a nice guy. I did meet him at Star Wars Celebration in 2017. So sweet. He bought pizza for a lot of people. We were all waiting in line early in the morning, and he just came out with all these boxes of pizzas.
That doesn't make up for what you did, Ryan. No,
right.
It's a start.
I don't think the movie was perfect. I think the movie was great in some scenes. I like I said, I like every single Star Wars movie, every single one of them. But there are some scenes that I'm like, oh my god, you really could have done without this, or changed it. To me, for me, my version is Canto Bight. Yeah. I hated that entire sequence, and it's sad because it was their most expensive sequence. It cost them so much money to do that. I was watching the documentary. I was just like,
it's a little much.
It was so much, and for nothing. It did not make any sense.
It didn't bring anything. It was just
the fathiers. Oh, we have a new species of animals. That's about it. And we got you know what? We got sea slaves again. I'm great. Great.
But I do think though, if Rian Johnson had done all 3 movies, it would have been sick. I do think that would have been sick. It's just
it is. I think it's the it's just the hard thing. It's the hard part about getting. Number one, it's not, you're directing a Star Wars trilogy, so you're already having a lot of pressure on your back. But to me, it worked for the originals and the prequels, because George Lucas didn't direct every single one of them. It was a different director for the originals. So it was George for the first one, a different director for the second one, and a different director for Return of the Jedi. Yeah. And then the same thing with the prequels. George was a director for Phantom Menace, but it was somebody else for Attack of the Clones, and it was somebody else for Revenge of the Sith. But for the sequels, I'm like, we're now so far in the day, just keep it consistent.
Yeah.
To make the stories match.
Because it's just too choppy. Like, I thought The Force Awakens was incredible. The Last Jedi wasn't the best, but it was still an enjoyable watch. Like, it's a really rewatchable movie to me. Rise of Skywalker, it's still a good movie, but it's when you put them all together, it's just, it's like spawning in and out of different things. It's just, it doesn't really work well together, which is
I did say if they were to make The Rise of Skywalker an additional 30 to 45 minutes longer, it would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Because they
shouldn't have killed Ben. They shouldn't have killed him.
No.
Oh.
No. He shouldn't have died.
Do you think, random question, sorry, do you think he's given Rey a Force baby?
I'd cut the bitch if she did. Because I'm jealous. That should have been me. Fuck. I'd be so fucking jealous. I'd be like, Daisy Ridley. Bitch. I don't know if she'll ever come back to Star Wars. Oh my God.
I'm glad she's back on Instagram, but
oh my God, I love seeing her stuff on Instagram, but I don't think she'll come back to Star Wars. I know Oscar Isaac finally said he'd be into coming back, and I'm like,
did John Boyega say he'd come back too, or has he not said anything?
I think John will come back if like Disney or like Star Wars and Disney like offer him the hugest apology and make up for what, and give him like a redemption, like, you know, like have Finn have a redeeming character.
I want to see live action Jedi Finn. It's canon that he is a Jedi, isn't it? Or he's Force sensitive.
Yeah, he's Force. That was in Rise of Skywalker. That was technically that was the whole thing about Finn from the beginning. It's like not that he just had feelings for Rey, but he's like, hey, I'm feeling something different, but it was always suppressed. Yeah. Like they never really brought it up, and then it wasn't until the end they're like, yeah, hey Rey, I have something to tell you, and the entire movie like doesn't say a damn word, and then I'm Force sensitive, like really, really, and then of course he's with all these other ex stormtroopers who are like, yeah, I also feel Force sensitive. I'm like, what?
It's crazy.
You see, like I want to show on that, like the excommunicated First Order troopers that became Force sensitive.
The stormtroopers would have been such a good area to explore in like the Bad Batch. That's a really frustrating thing, for sure. There's got to be other deserters. There's got to be. We see some things in Rebels.
We do,
yeah.
I mean, we saw. I mean, I'm just like Cody and Rex being alive.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, you know what? You actually broke my heart when I watched it. When I was watching Kenobi, and you saw the clone trooper that was like struggling to like to get food, and he was like asking for money on the side because like they basically like kicked out all the clones from the Empire, said you are the old and we don't do clones anymore, so you're getting kicked out on the street. I felt so bad. I'm like, yeah, this is rough. Oh my God. But I think we've like discussed. It's like been an hour and 30 minutes. I'm telling you, like when I start talking, like it can go very, very long. But I've been trying my best to keep it like under 2 hours. So with that being said, I'm just happy that you said yes to coming on my channel.
I was so excited. I'm so honored, so excited about it.
I'm so happy. Like people don't understand like how much I'm a fan of Izzy. So it's been honestly an honor and a pleasure. And obviously my next episode next week will be with somebody that we both love, Clone to Snug, otherwise known as Balake or Blake Tom, if you follow him on Instagram. And I'm just glad I'm being able to have my friends on here. It's been great. We all see each other on streams and we comment on each other's things and we support each other in so many different ways. But like actually getting to like sit here and have a conversation with you and talking to you, it's so nice. It's been so great.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. And I'm so excited. Like people don't understand. So like when Izzy and I go to Star Wars Celebration, she is my wife.
Yeah.
Friday and Sunday. I will find her a Saturday ticket. She will be with me all weekend. And dead ass, yes.
Yeah, I'm keeping Natalia in the UK forever.
Yeah,
That's it.
when I
That's it.
leave my apartment, I guess I'm gonna have to have all this shipped to the UK because, yeah, I don't know if I'll come back.
We'll buy you new things. It's fine. I can be sugar mommy. It's fine. Just come. I just need you.
Yes, that's all I need is you. But the only thing I must have is I must have my Ahsoka tapestry. So we got to get this shipped in some way, and my sabers. That has to come. Oh wait, you know what? Now thinking about shipping, maybe not, because it's so expensive. But ladies and gents, I hope you all have an amazing weekend or an amazing week, and we'll see you next week for Snip's Comlink podcast starring me and my craziness. I'm still caffeinated. I have so much coffee in my system right now, but all right, my guys, my gals, my pals, I'm delirious at this point. Hope you all have the best weekends ever. Can't wait to see you around. And by the way, everyone should go follow Izzy on her personal page. And if you are interested in installs for lightsabers, please go follow her install page. She is an amazing installer. And support female installers in lightsaber community. There are very few, but they're there, and definitely check out her page.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my dear. All right, my guys. I'll see you all later.